Keto and crime, keto and crime. We uncover the grime on keto and crime. Keto and crime, keto and crime. Now is the time for keto and crime.
Hey everyone, Tracy here from Keto and Crime. Thank you so much to every single one of my patrons and channel members. You make this possible. And you're one of the reasons I do this. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if I haven't said it before, thank you. I'll sing it. Thank you. Thank you for hanging in there with me and letting me geek out, not making fun of me like a lot of other people do, because I like weird stuff about crime and dark history. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Keto and Crime. As promised, Lori Vallow trial, jury selection began yesterday, April 3rd, and I am here to give you an update. If you're new here, welcome. I do true crime, horror, television, and movie synopsis and reviews, and I do dark history. During this Lori Vallow trial, I will be reporting to you several times a week on it, and then I will return to my normal video schedule and live stream schedule. I also collaborate and stream with other content creators, so we try to have a good time over here. I also am known as the Crazy Tree Lady, unfortunately, and I do change the tree with the holidays. You're now seeing Easter and spring, and yesterday was my birthday. We got the Lori Vallow trial starting on my birthday, so yeah, don't ask me how old I am because I will not answer you, but let's just say I've been around. With that being said, let's dive into what's going on at the Ada County Courthouse in Idaho. Over 1,800 potential jurors received the 𝗧𝗍𝗪 questionnaire to fill out, and they are being called in by dozens a day and going in 15-person blocks to be interviewed by both the prosecution and Lori Vallow's defense team. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to play out, though, because to not have heard of this case or formed any kind of opinion on it, you literally would have had to have been living under the proverbial rock. So I imagine that a lot of the jury selection is going as follows.
Well, let's have some more make-believe as the trolley goes by the castle garden in the neighborhood of make-believe.
Yes, ma'am. Have you heard of the Lori Vallow case? Yes, I have. Do you believe that it is possible for someone that prides themselves on looking like a Family Dollar Barbie can manipulate a would-be novelist into potentially assisting her in disposing of her children? That's a little out there, but maybe? Yeah. She's not going to work. That's pretty much, I think, what it's going like, especially for the defense team. I would imagine this is a much bigger boon for the prosecution because, you know, people don't like it when parents are accused of killing their children, but that's what we're dealing with here. And if you are not yet familiar with the Vallow Daybell case, I have an entire playlist including in-depth studies of Daybell's books that I will link all those playlists right up here. Feel free to check those out. There's a whole Vallow Daybell cinematic universe, so just check those out. But basically, so far, they have weeded out quite a few jurors. They will continue until after this initial 1,800, I suppose, are vetted down to 42, and then from those 42, they will narrow it down to the final pool of 18, including 12 actual jurors and 6 alternates. From what I understand, they have only selected 17 so far. Now that sounds like, oh God, we got to get 42, and then it doesn't sound like a lot, but I would imagine that for the amount of hype this case has, they're actually moving on at a fairly good clip, believe it or not. So I am to understand that the 1,800 people that received the questionnaire, it was 20 pages long, so at least the few hundred that were brought in to as potential jurors passed that first round. So that's where we are right now. Chad Daybell's trial has been severed from Lori Vallow, so there's definitely cracks in that relationship, and he is slated for the end of the year, so around October, because he is facing the death penalty, and so there will be 2 phases of his trial: the the guilty not guilty phase, and then if there is a guilty verdict, there will be a death penalty to inject or not to inject portion of the trial, and they asserted that they needed extra time to prepare for that. But as we have heard, Vallow, there's no death penalty on the table for her. That has been removed. I am honestly surprised we got the trial starting, even jury selection, because I'm pretty sure that probably in the back of her head, she was still toying with the fact of, I'm not competent to stand trial again. I really think maybe she really was holding that in her pocket, but maybe her defense team advised her against that because she's used it so often. Also, they are still ruling on motions on how much of thousands of pages and pictures from iCloud and other accounts may or may not be admitted. So this is not going to be clean cut by any way, shape, or form. Also, there's still the situation of her trial for the murder of ex-husband Charles Vallow in Arizona that they will have to contend with as well. So there's a lot up in the air here. But as we know, she's going to be standing trial for the murder and conspiracy to commit murder of JJ and Tylee. Chad is, and then of course there's the Charles situation in Arizona. Chad is facing the same counts on Tylee and JJ, but also the added murder of his former wife, Tammy Daybell. So we are still kind of in limbo. I do know that even though they have 17 potential jurors, that it's still moving quite quickly, but I believe that 15 were excused within the first 30 minutes of the day. So by 9:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 15 were already excused, and it's going to take quite a while to find enough people that meet both prosecution and defense standards for jurors, especially people that don't have a preconceived notion about it. There will be no video allowed in the courtroom. There will be only audio, and I do plan to purchase those and bring those summaries to you as it goes on, but I do know that right now there's really not a whole lot to listen to. I have listened to a few of the recordings, but it's just basic. I've been on 2 juries in my life. It's just basic, asking everyone questions, asking people to raise and put their hands down. There's not a whole lot to report on. I fully anticipate that the entire jury will be sequestered, both alternates and actual jurors. They will be in a hotel room with all outside communication cut off. So this is going to be quite a lengthy process and quite an interruption to the lives of anybody that gets selected for this jury. So that's where we are. I will be back really soon with further updates as this progresses. If anything on the recordings stand out, I will definitely bring that to you. So you'll be seeing me a couple times a week moving forward as we cover this trial. And until next time, keep on crying.